Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I had a few thoughts brought to me by Michael, I think, is his name, or Jeremy. Piano is the Remedy is the name we all know him by, and he said he was going to enter a debate on objectivism with me. Later found some reason why he didn't need to, and excused objectivism and myself and all of objectivism's proponents out of hand as offensive or something, or rude or mean or something. So anyways, he says, I'm going to go into this debate with you, Mr. Cropper, and I want to debate with you about the ideas or something, he says, I don't want to be a character. I don't want to be, we shouldn't be characters in this. We should have a real debate or something. I don't know how he equivocated it, but that was what his words were. We shouldn't be characters, and he didn't want to descend into being a character while we were talking about objectivism or whatever. I thought, uh-oh, he's getting set up to be a little bit funky monkey here, but then he just decided not to even enter the debate at all. Anyways, I thought about that, and I thought, I'm a character. Mr. Cropper is a character on YouTube. Mr. Cropper is not the person, Mr. Cropper is not Brandon Cropper. Brandon Cropper puts his pants on one leg at a time in the morning. Brandon Cropper gets indigestion. Brandon Cropper has a workaday job. Mr. Cropper is an intellectual. Mr. Cropper, I don't know if you want to put it in the strangest terms, Mr. Cropper someday will write books. Brandon Cropper is a waiter. So the character, my ideal, who I try to be and try to live towards and live as, is a character. Is a character invented on YouTube. Before YouTube, I had my philosophy and my ideas. I did not have the character Mr. Cropper. Now, Mr. Cropper is a character to me, just as he is a character to you. Mr. Cropper, for me, is a character on YouTube, as he is for you. And then in real life, I've got myself over to the side. Now, I have to be what I would in order for Mr. Cropper to be what he is. That's true. You couldn't divorce the two. But I just want to make a few points about the fact that I am a character. And I'm obviously putting a little bit more serious of a meaning in it than Jeremy, and my meaning will become clear, I suppose, as we speak. So let me set the context for YouTube. I originally went on YouTube. I posted my very first videos on YouTube after watching, I went on YouTube for months and watched videos, and you couldn't get any intellectual videos. Believe me, I looked. You couldn't get anything. Scientific discussion was one of the early intellectuals on the scene. His name used to be Take a Left. Way back in the original days of the intellectual scene, there was like an 8-minute clip of Daniel Dennett talking about evolution. That was in my favorites. It was like the only video with the tagline philosophy in it. Now there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. It's a beautiful thing. But when I originally got on there was virtually no intellectual content, and there weren't that many videos. I mean, now they upload as many videos every week as they had uploaded in the whole year of 2002 or something, or 2004 or whatever. I don't know when they started, but I originally went on there and put up videos as an information. I wanted like a website or a web page. Now I could get a web page and upload videos to that web page and have them embedded and have a webmaster and pay $40 a month or $60 or whatever for bandwidth and have it maintained, and I'd have videos and stuff on there. Or I realized I could go have a channel on YouTube that I could send people to. That was the original intent. It never worked out like that because there was interest in my school, but there was more interest in the intellectual vision that I had rather than just in the school itself. People actually, when I got right down to it, were pretty bored with details about the school, but they liked my vision, the fact that I was a person with a particular vision, objectivism, and I was going towards the school in this particular way. So I sort of had to respond to that on YouTube. I didn't have to, but after a while I did respond to that on YouTube. People started subscribing to me and stuff and saying please make more videos, and early on I was just like, I got on there and read good poems, William Wadsworth Longfellow and stuff like that, just read some good poems and stuff. My early intellectual videos, I didn't know what to do. I saw, this is interesting, there's a demand here. I should have known, I should have realized there was demand, because I had got on there and searched and looked. But in my own personal life, I had every reason to believe that there was no one else out there like me. I didn't suspect anyone else wanted to sit and watch philosophy videos, or people in suit and tie talking. You know, I didn't think anyone else wanted to do that. But I should have realized it because I wanted it, and I should have realized I'm a normal, regular human, but we sometimes forget that, don't we? So, as I get on there to give people a place to go to get information about my school, and I start taking my own personal values and doing videos in my own value strain, intellectual videos. All of these are still up. I haven't had a personal crisis and changed my philosophical outlook. You couldn't find a single thing in any of my 700 videos or 500 videos or whatever that I would repudiate. Well, maybe 2 things. But they wouldn't be important things. They wouldn't be principles. I don't take my videos down, unlike some people, because I think they might have some value in the future. I don't know how long YouTube will leave them up, but let's say they're there for 5 years, and a couple more people see them. Here's the thing, I'm confident that my videos are meaningful. Some people might take theirs down after a while because they are confident otherwise. Now, as I saw it, I sort of stepped into a vacuum, an emptiness, a negative space. Nature abhors a vacuum, and nature will fill that vacuum. And after I stepped in and started to fill the vacuum, other people come in at the corners and stuff, and so we start filling it up. And I was certainly not the first intellectual on YouTube, was I? I wouldn't arrogate that to myself. Some people say I'm not intellectual at all, so to be the first one would be impossible. But I stepped into a vacuum, and I sort of elected myself the authoritative resident intellectual of the objectivist scene on YouTube. And other people sort of took my election to be authoritative. And then I took their taking of my authoritativeness for granted, and so on. And I've just become this character that you all know. Now, I could have ignored this opportunity, option number 1, or I could do my part to fulfill the need that I saw and the demand that I saw. Now, those were my 2 options. 99.9% of people ignore opportunities. Every opportunity. Lots and lots of opportunities. 99.9% of people ignore 99.9% of opportunities 99.9% of the time. I've passed up a lot of opportunities in order to do videos. So, I chose not to ignore it. I chose to fulfill it, not perfectly and absolutely, but to my capacity. I think I've done a fair job to this point of being just an amateur intellectual. Comes on here, has a beer, and doing some intellectual videos. Now here we get really to the point of this video. I began integrating this YouTube character, Mr. Cropper. I began integrating him specifically around the values that were important. The values that were non-essential or unimportant, not the things that were not values, for example, were put aside. So only, at the end, pretty much the only things that make it onto my YouTube channel, unlike in the early days, more and more in the end, it's an integrated character. Rather than just a random mishmash, there's an actual integrated character that has developed or evolved. A character, as this is why I call him a character. Mr. Cropper is an integration. For example, in the early days I came on, I said, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Cropper here. That was after I started doing that. I've also just, hi, Brandon Cropper here, I have some stuff to say, blah, 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 I'm going to do. You know, in the early days I had no idea. I would come on just in the t-shirt, any t-shirt I was wearing, because who's going to watch this? Certainly not anyone important, I thought. Little did I know. But